Hi, everyone. My name is Marguerite Nguyen, and I'm Associate Professor of English at Wesleyan University. I'm also affiliated with the College of the Environment here and also the College of East Asian Studies. And I'm super happy and excited to be part of the Vietnamese Boat People podcast project. And I'm going to take a few minutes to talk to you today about the role and importance of Vietnamese diasporic narratives within the bigger landscape of Asian American history and culture. So I am going to go ahead and share my screen and walk through some slides with you. So just give me a few seconds to set that up. I included my contact information here in case anybody would like to contact me. And a little bit more about myself. My research and teaching interests include American and Asian American literature. I also specialize in Southeast Asian American studies and critical refugee studies. Critical refugee studies is a field that is concerned with refugee perspectives, histories, and cultures, and tries to make sure that refugee voices are heard and highlighted. I also listed some of my publications here in case you are interested in checking them out. What will this lesson cover? Two main things. How does Vietnamese American storytelling fit within the broader narrative of Asian America, and why do your stories matter? So hopefully when you finish this tutorial, you will come away with more familiarity with the relationship between Vietnamese American stories and Asian American stories more broadly, and also feel encouraged and convinced to submit your stories or the stories that you collect to Vietnamese Boat People Journeys. Some subtopics that I will cover here are: one, what does AAPI mean, or Asian American Pacific Islander? You'll see that there's really no phrase or acronym that can accurately and fully capture Asian American communities, and that is okay. But it's, I think, useful to have a baseline understanding of what we mean and what the history of Asian American as a term is. I will also cover the emergence of Vietnamese diaspora and Vietnamese American narrative very briefly, and then also go over how Vietnamese diasporic stories change the way that we understand the Vietnam War and the American and Asian American story more broadly. So first, what does AAPI mean? I'm going to go ahead and show a clip of a PBS video that was made with some people from various Asian American communities about this term. It's a pretty funny but helpful take, I think, on the term, and encourages us to keep in mind that there are certain things that Asian Americans share, but also we are a very diverse group of people.
I think AAPI means Asian American Pacific Islander. Is that right?
The terms AA and PI got lumped together because of the government?
But it's officially APA, right? Who knows?
Asian Pacific American, which makes no sense.
Ooh, APIDA?
Okay, Asian Pacific American Indigenous.
Asian Pacific Islander.
Oh, Desi American, yes.
Asian American, Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islander. Yes. Come on!
Asian American was actually a chosen term that emerged around the same time that ethnic studies was created as a field.
In 1968, inspired by the Black Power movement, two Berkeley students, Yuji Ichioka and Emma G, coined this term, Asian American.
You know, having an umbrella identity that people could unite under does seem pretty powerful. So why all this talk of changing it?
Well, maybe we should actually talk about expanding on it. So as we know, Asian American has its roots in political organizing. So at its core, it's a political identity. But as this community grows in numbers and geographical diversity and migration histories, the term starts to fall a little short.
I don't feel that Asian American all the time includes Southeast Asians or darker Asians.
So hopefully you took away some things from that video. One is that the term Asian American was a deliberately chosen term to bring together different Asian Americans and call for recognition and rights. It did grow out of this moment of activism in the 60s, and that moment of activism did eventually lead to the creation of Asian American Studies, which has been very good in many ways because it provided a space for the study of various issues related to Asian America. You could also see from that video that some of the folks are advocating for inclusion of Southeast Asian Americans or more visibility for Southeast Asian Americans within the bigger Asian American picture, because the sentiment is that sometimes they are ignored or not included. I'll briefly go over here the emergence of Vietnamese diaspora. A lot of this information can be found on the Vietnamese Boat People website, so I don't think it's necessary to go through all the details, but roughly there are 3 waves of Vietnamese migration after the war from South Vietnam. The first wave occurs between 1975 to 1978. This includes some boat people, or what some others will call boat refugees or oceanic refugees, but this phase also includes those who left by ship or plane immediately following the fall of Saigon. The second wave took place between 1978 to 1980, and the third wave took place between 1980 to 1995. And as many of you know, many people tried to make this journey. Not everybody made it. Estimates vary as far as how many died, and we'll probably never know. This is why your stories matter, because they can help us get a better understanding of the experiences that people had, say, on the boats, on the vessels, how many people died, and the struggles that they faced while on the seas. Just to give you an idea of the impacts of Vietnamese American arrival in the U.S., as of 2019, there were 2,183,000 Vietnamese Americans in the U.S., and these are the cities with the densest or highest Vietnamese American populations in the country.